Hey everybody, welcome back to a brief on grief. I just realized the other day that I hadn't done any videos specifically on talking about grief and loss in young people and in kids, kids and teens specifically. And I've been really vibing on this topic lately for many years, but really, especially the last like few months, because I'm getting ready in March to start a program for the first time of helping like parents and teachers and coaches learn more of healthy messages about grief and loss and how to guide the young people in the life that they care about to, yeah, grieve in healthier ways. So it's being lit up again a lot in the last couple months, and I realized I don't have a video related to this. So today, and I wanted to start right, it's such a huge topic, and it's kind of a little bit more unique when we're talking about young people and stuff too. So I had lots of ideas, but I thought I'm going to start right down to the basics. So these first couple videos here will be kind of like about what grief looks like, as you can see from the title of this video, what grief, how it shows up and stuff in young people. And then also like the main losses that actually happen in young people's lives. Because again, we're not taught to think about this. We're not taught to think about what are emotional losses and what are not. And we definitely don't think about how much they're actually accumulating and adding up at a very, very young age already. So just that's part of what the process of this program is in the first few classes is, yeah, just bringing awareness to what grief and loss actually looks like in young people and what can create emotional loss for young people. So some of it, of course, is similar to adults, but some things are very unique. So today, yeah, so I mean, I have a list right here, which is definitely not exhaustive, but I wanted to go through some of the things of the way grief shows up in young people. Again, some of these can interchange between kids and like teenagers, but some are more specific to like the kids versus like older kids or teens. So some of the ways that grief can show up in kids is temper tantrums, right? Yelling, screaming, crying, throwing things. Well, that's the next one, throwing things, right? Throwing things randomly at the walls or in the rooms, throwing things at people, at parents or at siblings, right? Hitting siblings, right? Hitting siblings, hitting parents, having, hitting issues and challenges with classmates. Oh, and I want a little caveat of this before I go into it a little more. Why this is so important in so many ways, but the big message about why this is so important is that grief is often seen as a discipline issue or a behavioral issue in our kids and teens, right? It's not actually seen as a grief issue. And this is the huge, right? When grief is treated as like a behavioral issue or maybe even a learning disability, when it's actually just could be a grieving process, that has some big consequences for a child and teenager's life. So this is, yeah, it is so important to actually identify that some of these challenges that your kids and teens may be experiencing or some of the behaviors that you may be seeing could be linked to grief. So again, back to like hitting siblings, hitting parents, issues with classmates and at school, so leading to troubles at school. Right, troubles with attention, focus, learning challenges. Again, those can be seen, identified as learning disabilities and not actually as a grief issue, which it may be. Like a repetitive, how kids can like repeat things over and over again, like ask the same questions, try to maybe talk about the same kind of stuff or talk about feelings related to an upsetting event over and over again. So bringing up a subject over and over again is a sign that their feelings have not been heard, right? And they're trying over and over again to communicate that to you or to teachers or classmates or to siblings because they're feeling not heard. Any sleeping issues that your child is having, nightmares, any changes to like eating patterns, any challenges that your young kids have with anxiety or that you think seems like anxiety, right? Which can be obviously related to sleeping challenges too. And then any like kind of headaches and gut issues or food sensitivities that your child may be having. So again, that's like, there's quite a few in there, but it is definitely not exhaustive. They can present as many other things, but wanted to highlight some of the main ones. When you're thinking about older kids and teenagers, so basically, you just think of some of those things in the kid list, so like tantrums, right? The teen version of that, or the older kid version of that, is kind of like yelling tantrums, right? Swearing tantrums, swearing like at their kids, or sort of swearing at the parents, swearing at their siblings. Yeah, so verbal aggression towards parents and siblings, like with their words. Also, of course, the silent treatments, right? Teens not saying much, right? Kind of hiding in their rooms. Or when you ask them how they are, they're like, I'm fine, or school's okay, and they don't really say anything, right? That whole like inability to give detail, that can be a sign of grief. Drug and alcohol use and experimentation, huge, huge sign of grief, and because it's a huge way of trying to numb pain. Issues with like obeying and staying on curfew, skipping school, right? Skipping school, skipping classes, other troubles in school, like with concentration and learning, again, with falling, having issues with keeping their grades up, all of that. Again, with the school related stuff, it can often be seen as like a learning disability or a behavioral challenge, and can be disciplined and punished and for that, instead of seeing it as a grief issue. So this is a big deal. Again, similar to kids, sleeping, having any sleeping issues, any changes in eating patterns, right? Like overeating or undereating, or signs of eating disorders. A child like kind of taking over the parent duties in a household. This is a huge topic that I'm sure I will make a whole brand new video on related to this. But yeah, anytime like a teenager is trying to jump into like a parenting role and be strong and try to take care of like the family if there's some other pain and challenges going on in the family, that can be a huge sign that they're actually trying to like take care of others and stuff down their own emotions that they may be feeling related to something. So again, anxiety issues, maybe panic attacks if you're a teen or young adults having any panic attacks. Of course, that's going to lead to, or that can also lead to like headaches and gut issues. So same with in kids. Yeah, food intolerances again, allergies and stuff too. A lot of books and research out there are saying that allergies and all the autoimmune diseases and anything that's impacting our health as humans is all the impact of unprocessed emotions and grief energy stuck in our bodies. Yeah, it's huge. So again, that's kind of like the bottom of the list here, but again, not exhaustive whatsoever. And the thing is, which I've mentioned many times in numerous these videos, is emotions are energy, right? It even says it in the word, emotion, energy in motion. Our emotions are supposed to be flowing and moving through our bodies and moving out, right? In a natural flow, just like the up and down cycle of life. They're supposed to be flowing in and out, and emotions up here, emotions down up here, or down here, emotions in the middle. That's the normal cycle and flow of emotions. But so whether this is kids, adults, or teenagers, when that energy is not processed, so which means we're not validating it, we're not seeing for what it is, we're not being heard around us, our emotions and our situations of pain are not being heard and validated. They may be being stuffed down by different messages. Again, the grief myths, be strong, deal with it on your own, try to take care of other people before yourself, time heals everything, all those things, all those messages cause that energy of the emotional energy to be stuck in our bodies. But that energy doesn't disappear, right? So some of exactly this list of the way it manifests, this is the way the grief is coming out. It's manifesting because that grief energy is still there. So it can manifest in feel like anxiety, it can manifest in challenges with eating and sleeping. It can look like outbursts of crying and aggression and verbalness and hitting. You can see that that's that energy trying to be expelled because that's the natural flow. So when grief and emotional energy is trapped in our bodies, behavioral issues and physical body issues and challenges, learning issues and stuff can manifest from that energy trying to escape and not having any other root. So And that's how it can show up in kids and teens. As you can see, this is a huge topic and it may have brought up like different questions and thoughts. So feel free to leave a comment below. I'd love to know like kind of what resonates with you. See if you can relate with this. See if you can relate with any of the young people in your life that you care about that are having some of these challenges. And again, feel free to share this around with whoever you think would benefit. And yeah, I feel like I'm going to do a few videos on this subject at least. The next one for sure talking about the emotional losses and what kind of emotional losses kids and teens have. So yeah, okay, I think that's it for now. I will see you next video. Okay, bye.